Okay, that's all back together nicely. Pumped on the brake pedal a little bit to kind of seat the pads, and then give it a whirl there, and it's not dragging anywhere near like it was, so it sounds like that's good. So it's time to go ahead and bleed the brake system. Tough with the camera in the way here, but get that cover off the bleeder valve there. It's going to be a bugger to get a wrench on there. Break that loose just a little bit here. Our whole brake bleeder hooked up here. Put some good vacuum here. Getting a few bubbles sucking the old fluid out. That's likely to sucking some air in past the threads on the bleeder and not actually there we go, not actually air that was in the system. As you can see, that's sucked out all the old fluid nicely. So grab us some fresh brake fluid and pour that in the reservoir and pump the air out. I might actually take that bleeder valve out and put some regular teflon tape on the threads, and that way it won't suck air past the threads, and I can see when I'm sucking in my new fluid and sucking the air out when I don't have any bubbles and actually have all the air out of the system. Okay, well, we've got nice clean fresh brake fluid up in the brake reservoir, and actually what doesn't drain out you can just use your vacuum tool to suck out just to get all the nasty dark brown fluid out of there. So we're ready to suck in some new fluid. I'll pump up a little vacuum here. And we'll crack the line and kind of, oops, dang it. Okay, let's try that again. Trying to keep the tube kind of pointed up so I can see when I don't have any bubbles. Which looks pretty good right now, actually. Snug that down. And it looks like I need to add a little more brake fluid to my reservoir. I may go ahead and suck a little more clean fluid through the system just to make sure it's properly flushed. Then we'll tighten that bleeder valve down and put the cap back on and be all done with the brakes. Okay, that's all buttoned up. It's sucked enough fluid through there to get the level in the reservoir up to the full mark, and then put in the little diaphragm and plastic washer and put the cap back on. The other thing I wanted to bring up is specs call for about an inch of free play on the left brake lever, the parking brake, and I've got a little more than that, probably a little brake pad wear. Anyway, the adjustment for that is this nut right here, which I will just thread in until I get the proper amount of play there. Then it'll be a matter of putting the wheels back on, and we'll run around and torque all the lug nuts back to spec and reset the service reminder on the dash. Okay, here we are with the wheels put down and torqued to spec. I think it's 64 Newton meters for the lug nuts in a crisscross pattern. The other thing we've got left to do is reset the service reminder. On the Rincon, you press and hold trip an odo for a couple seconds until the oil change light goes out. Or in this case, it's already out since it's not quite due for service. You hold them in until the oil light there blinks on and blinks off, which confirms for you that it's been reset. So last thing I've got to do is hook onto my plow, and it's snowing. I've got to do some snow removal. Anyway, I thought I'd go over a few of the things that are on this Rincon. You might have noticed the Foreman headlight is, of course, not stock on the Rincon. It doesn't come with a third light. It's really kind of handy for plowing, and also when you get mud and stuff on the lower lights. A user named BKR on rinconriders.com can get you all the parts. I kind of like to buy most of my stuff from the local dealer because I like to support him, but he's supplied parts for quite a few people that have done that conversion, so he knows every little spring and clip and whatever that you need, and just handier that way. Mayer handguards, I really like the way they wrap around the master cylinder. Provides some nice wind protection when it's cold, and of course keeps your knuckles from getting busted up by tree branches and stuff. This also has Warren's 3,000 pound XT winch, which is really nice. It comes with this, if I can get it out there, two-handed job I guess. Comes with this nice remote control, which is super handy. I used to hate getting stuck in the snow. You'd have to slog your way up to a tree to hook on the winch line, and then slog your way back to the quad and pull it out, and slog your way back to the tree and unhook it, and back to the quad. And this saves a trip. I can just run the line out as I'm on my way to whatever anchor point I'm using, and hook it on and pull the quad out, let some slack in it, unhook it, and wind it back up as I'm on my way back to the quad. Really nice winch system. Also comes with the synthetic line. The bumper on the front of this machine is an ATV Guru bumper. Really high quality. They're fairly expensive, but they're worth it. Oh, one other really small modification I got off, not my idea, got it off somebody from a forum. The rubber block there between the hook and the roller ferrule head is the end off of the bow roller for a boat trailer. You can buy those for a couple bucks and take a hacksaw and cut the end off. Nice solid rubber, lets you pull the winch line tight so it doesn't tangle itself without smashing the end of the hook into the rollers. With a synthetic line like that, you don't want to raise any burrs on the rollers or it'll tear up the winch line. Super neat idea, low cost. Other than that, pretty much stock. Of course, Bighorn radial tires, really nice tire. They're a lot tougher than stock. I haven't managed to puncture one. They seem to wear really well, they handle well. They really excel in like forest trails, light mud, really good in like loose rock, that sort of thing, and way better than stock in snow and mud. Sand, they drift around a little bit steering, but not anything you can't really deal with. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Oh, I meant to mention, one of the other things I did and didn't film while we had the right rear tire off is you want to take the battery cables off the battery, even if they look clean. Once you get them off, you can brush them up and make sure everything is shiny and tight. That's one of those areas that people miss doing maintenance that can cause problems later. And of course, the idea of doing a thorough job of servicing your machine is to keep it reliable. These things are capable of taking a heck of a beating in really rough terrain with very few problems, but they do need a little care every now and then. Anyway, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video.